Japan, a free country where the dance kabuki was created, where samurais were created, where katanas were created, where Shinto, their religion, was created. Japan is a beautiful country with sakura trees around them. Plus, they had sushi, which is now the exotic food everywhere. One day came in Spanish ships willing to sell their guns, and for that they said that they wanted Japan to westernize, and if they would, then they would get the guns. Most families agreed to that, but some didn't, and those were the families with samurai, because those families wanted to keep their tradition, did not want to change. And so, traditional Japan called war on the traditional Japan, because if they all don't agree, then they won't get the guns. Then came in the day in 1877, where there was war. Japanese soldiers with muskets got their muskets and started to fire at all costs to destroy all the samurais. But they forgot about reloading, and so the samurais took advantage of that and attacked while they were reloading. But some did reload. They did fire back, and they were fighting until there was no one left to live. After the war, their economy grew. They did like some westernized things, but some were just bad. So they got rid of some westernized traditions and got back to their own selves. And so Japan was a free country again.
Good morning, students, and welcome back to history. Today we have a new topic. Our new topic today is about Henry VIII. We're going to focus on the causes of the story and his 6 wives. So now I will ask you to pay attention and listen closely to the story. Henry was important and mostly famous for having 6 wives and executing some of them, and also innocent people. And also his decision to suppress the Roman Catholic Church, establishing the Church of England as an official region of the nation. But let's talk about his 6 wives. It all started when Henry VIII had become king on the 22nd of April 1509, when he was only 17. His father bugged him into having a powerful queen to stand by his side at the throne. Later on, Henry was tired and annoyed of his father bugging him about having a queen, so he finally got married with Catherine of Aragon, mainly by force. Henry's goal was to pursue a male heir to be next in line for king, in case Henry would ever pass away sooner than expected or when his time comes. He also didn't want anyone except for his family to be able to be next in line for the throne. Henry knew that he didn't actually have royal blood in him, so he started to notice that anyone royal with the same amount of power as him could overthrow him. So then Henry started to become paranoid and kept thinking and thinking. So then he pretty much decided to behead most of the people who either had as much as power as him or even more. After many months, Henry started to become bored of Catherine. So he started to become interested in other women. Her name was Mary Boleyn. But later on, he met her sister, Anne Boleyn, in 1925 at the court with Mary Boleyn. Anne seemed loyal, and she was very intelligent. She had black long hair and almost black eyes. To Henry, she would have been a better queen for England than Catherine, since she had more power and was more intelligent. Later on, Henry had tried to get a male heir with Catherine of Aragon. Unfortunately, that failed. Henry was furious and upset, but on the bright side, Catherine was pregnant with a female heir. On February 15, 1516, Henry's female heir was born, and she was named Mary I. Of course, Henry still wanted a male heir, but he also loved Mary very much. Later on, Henry tried to get a male heir with Catherine of Aragon, which unfortunately failed. Henry was furious and upset, but on the bright side, Catherine was pregnant with a female heir. On February 15, 1560, Henry's female heir was born. Her name was Mary I. Of course, Henry wanted a male heir, but he also loved Mary very much. Anne Boleyn was smarter than expected because she didn't want an affair with Henry, but she wanted to become queen instead. Therefore, Henry decided to get a divorce with Catherine. But the Pope of Italy didn't allow it because they had been Catholic. Henry therefore had gotten a new pope and was allowed to make Anne queen in 1933. Henry restricted Mary to visit Catherine ever again. Henry's goal was still to have a male heir since his wish wasn't granted yet. He knew Anne would be able to make England the greatest from all. On the exact year Anne was expecting, but unfortunately again the wish wasn't granted for Henry. His male heir had failed again. On September 7, 1533, Elizabeth I was born, and he also loved her a lot too, and actually started not to pay any more attention to his first heir. In 1536, Henry had a bad leg injury when he fell off his horse, but little did he know that that leg injury would be one of the causes why he would die later on. Henry soon found out Anne had an affair with someone else, and he was furious. He didn't know what to believe, since he made her his mistress. Henry later requested for Anne to be beheaded, which later happened in May 1536. Henry later met Jane Seymour, which became his third wife. Fortunately, this time Henry's wish was granted by Jane. His male heir was born on October 12, 1527, but only 12 days later Jane had died after giving birth. Henry wasn't sorry, but at least his wish was granted. Henry loved his new son Edward very much, and also his daughter Elizabeth, but he barely had time for Mary. Henry's current pope at that time had suggested his next mistress, but only just by a portrait. But Henry was persuaded, so he agreed. When Henry met his new mistress, Anne of Cleves, he wasn't too happy, since he thought she was kind of ugly. He requested another divorce since he wasn't too happy with Anne. Henry later met Catherine at a ball dance and found her very attractive. Catherine was actually a very attractive woman, but she was very playful and sneaky. He made Catherine his new mistress, but sooner or later he found out that she was having an affair with another man, so once more he requested for his wife to become beheaded. And finally his last wife, which was his sixth wife, Catherine Howard. Unfortunately for Henry, at that time he became sick from his leg injury, which made him actually unable to exercise and stay fit, since all he actually ate was unhealthy foods. On January 28, 1547, Henry had passed away, making Catherine be in sorrow for him. Okay class, can someone please tell me why you think Henry VIII had executed so many people? I think he was paranoid, and some of his wives had cheated on him. Oh yeah, that's correct, Addison, but there's one more reason. Let me help you out a little bit. It has something to do with the church. How about Charlie, you answer this question? I think it was because some people were either Catholic or Protestant, so he executed the people who didn't have the same beliefs as him. That's also correct. Henry had made the church into his own because he was persuaded by his own pope that he could become more of a powerful ruler. Can someone please tell me why Henry always had a new mistress? How about Lil Huddy? I think he kept having new mistresses because some of them could actually help him rule other countries and take over some cities. Okay, thank you class, see you tomorrow.